In 9 months, I turned this abandoned $160,000 18-room apartment building with no tenants and no income into an $800,000 property with huge passive cash flow. Here is how I did it. I did vacuum part of the patio here so I can see if there are any high spots. I did chip a few things with the hammer and chisel, but it's hard to tell because it's kind of rough. Using the jackhammer was not so easy on this part. This was an extension. The other part had a nice flat surface where they had laid the glue, so it was much easier to clear. So I'm just testing my first tile here, and I want to make sure there's enough space for the glue, and also the spacing for when it gets to the end of the patio, because I want to know how much overhang and how much plastering that I have to fill in on the sides. I'm not going to tile the sides. I'm just going to put the cement there. So I got the first tile, and just line it up with the previous tiles, and now I'm going to lay a few more of them. But it looks like it looks like it should be okay. We got about a centimeter, maybe a centimeter of space to put the glue on. I've laid out 6 tiles. First I went right to the end, and it looks like there's a lot of overlap at the back side there, the front I guess you call it. So I may end up cutting some off, otherwise it's going to be a lot of cement to fill it in, but let's see. So right now I'm more concerned about whether I have enough space here. And it looks like I have about the thickness of a tile. What I'm checking is, do I still have slope? So I checked the level here, and this part will have to go up to the level of the glue. And hopefully you can see that the bubble is still at the back, which means there's still slope, because I want the water to flow out off the patio. I'm just preparing now to do the tile work. So I've got out, I have my cement glue, I have my trowel of some kind here. I have a bucket of water with some sponges and some cloths in it. And I have my drill with my mixing bit. And the tiles are just inside the door. I mixed the first batch of cement too wet, and I put the first tile down already, but because it's an edge one, a lot of the cement and the glue squeezed out the back and then it sunk down a little bit in that corner. So I'm going to leave this one for now, and I'll come back to it once the cement hardens a little bit more, and then I'll try to push some more inside and prop it up a little bit in that corner. So I'm going to move on to the next one, and it's a learning experience, so now I have a little stiffer mix to hold the tiles in place a little bit better. Well, we're moving along here, and I've got 3 tiles down. Again, the end one was a bit of a problem because it's open and it was hard to support it, so I'm just kind of, I tried to plug the hole a little bit, but I'll come back again later and kind of fill in that corner. But I'm moving slow, but I want to make sure that they're nice and flat and they're solid. So, but it's not that hard of a job. I guess it could be, but just taking my time and listening to some music and moving along. So I'll keep mixing cement and laying a few more. I'm on the last row to finish the patio here, and then I have a few cuts at the end. Hopefully that won't be too difficult. Well, it's New Year's Eve, December 31st, and this is the last tile, so I'm anxious to stick it down. Putting all the tiles down, I still have to do the grouting, and I still have to do the finish around the edge. And now that I've finished with the tile work, I'm doing kind of a purging of the front, and it's quite rough because I broke it off in pieces, and it was a mix of cement and glue and broken tiles and all kinds of junk. And also this was again another add-on section, this little 4x4 or 5x5. So I'm just putting layer by layer and slowly trying to top it up, and then at the end I'll do like a smooth coat to finish it. But there's so many holes, and you can probably see it's quite jagged. So it's going to take a few trips around the world here, adding a little by little, because it's hard for it to stick. Once it goes on there, if it's too thick, it just kind of sags and runs down, and then makes a bigger mess for you to clean up later. So I'm going to continue. Probably going to take me a couple of days of going around here, but in the end, hopefully it'll be a nice clean looking surface, and then I'll paint it black to match the tiles. I put the last coat of cement across the front, and I did some sanding just to smoothen it out a little bit, but it's pretty sharp now. And this afternoon I put the grouting on. I've just put the primer on the edge of the patio. Try to seal up the fresh cement first. I started putting the lines on the parking area. I made a stencil out of cardboard first. Measured everything off. Of course, I had to adjust where the markings were, but get the angles where I wanted it. And so I decided to spray it because it's quite rough and it would be hard to make the lines straight.
Just hold me tight and don't let go. Hold me tight and don't let go.